Flirting, what's acceptable in marriage?
Ooh, this is a good one.
How to love without losing your identity. How people test your emotional availability. Letting go versus giving up. The marriage roommates trap. Carrying the load. The emergency poop story. Flirting, what's acceptable in marriage?
Ooh, this is a good one.
And I'm actually gonna go further. Outside the marriage is the real problem. All right.
That's what I thought you meant.
Well,
We can flirt as much as we can, as much as we want.
Well, I want to touch on it first.
Okay.
Because, let's walk you through it, guys. Welcome to the More Marriage Podcast, guys. This is going to knock your socks off. All right.
By the way, I'm wearing socks today.
Puppy socks.
Yeah, puppy socks. I'm never wearing
What's
socks.
acceptable for flirting in the marriage? Well, guys, everything. The problem is so many of you you've got a marriage where you've got boundaries in place. And with these boundaries in place, it's like, don't you dare. Like, let's just use a basic, simple one that we get probably 3 or 4 times a week on the men's calls, which is like, don't call me baby, okay? Don't say I love you, okay?
That's not even flirting. That's like normal baseline marriage stuff.
That's right. Like I would say it's more flirting with an I love you. Like we do this thing where we'll yell across the house, I fucking love you.
I love you.
Yeah. Something
I
like,
miss you.
Yeah, stuff like that, right? And so you can turn it into a flirt, but we have a lot of you that are so hurt or needing space, or wanting to find yourself or whatever the fuck that you're like, don't touch me. Don't say that. Don't do these things. Listen, you're married. You're in a relationship. And until you're done, and even then, I'm still going to tell a man to go after her if he wants her. Why? Because we can get remarried. A lot of our clients get remarried, okay? Why is this important? Because when you are the partner that's in and you know where you're going, you know that you have to create the life that you want and show it to your partner, okay? Now, this gets really interesting because in an unhappy marriage, even if we haven't gone that far with those boundaries, see, that's somebody who's pretty done, okay? When they're saying boundaries like that, okay? When we're just struggling in marriage, think about the last episode. We don't feel good about ourselves, okay? Most men and women, your identity is tethered to your partner, okay? And so if they're not interested, of course, obviously with sex, men feel like they're not good enough, they're unloved, they don't feel like they're able to connect, whatever, okay? But there's all these other levels. Like when we teach people about covert contracts, we're like, no, you say I love you just to hear it back. You know what I mean? Like what happens is all of the kinds of love, connection, flirts, banter, okay? Like when you talk about climbing the rejection ladder that I created, right? All of those start to get replaced somewhere else, which is why we talk about it like betrayal, okay? Meaning outside the marriage. Now this is, well, for all intents and purposes, obviously since we're talking about flirting, I'm not talking about porn or looking at Instagram pictures and things like that, okay? I'm actually talking about flirting, okay? You had a story from the other day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, tell it.
Okay, so someone that we know is very flirty, and she's always been that way, and she's very outward and says, like, I'm just a very flirty person. It has nothing to do with attraction. She flirts with men, she flirts with women, she flirts non-sexual, flirts with children. She's got that flirty vibe about her. It's not necessarily anything with any sort of innuendo. It's just she's very touchy. She likes to be next to you. She likes to be close to you. She likes to talk close. She likes to have intimate conversations. That's why I say men, women, children, dogs, cats. She's just a flirty person. She's always smiling, always bubbly. It's part of her personality. But something happened recently where she was saying that she's a flirty person, and I think she does it as sort of a like a disclaimer, so that people know I'm just flirty. It has nothing to do with you. So when we first started to be friends, she wanted to make it very clear to me in a very nice way. I'm very flirty. I'm not into you. I'm not hitting on you. I actually don't like women at all. I only have eyes for my husband. I am definitely as straight as an arrow. And I didn't think anything of it anyway, but I was glad that she told me because she is very flirty and flamboyantly flirty, right? So if somebody compliments her on her butt, she's going to stick it out and make a joke about it. Like she's just very flirty. So she got herself into a situation where she was at a house party and she was being very flirty, and someone that was at that house party was also very flirty. He was male, and he was trying to relate to her saying, oh, we're the same. We're both flirty. It doesn't mean anything. At the end of the night, she had too much to drink. Her husband went to gather the children. The other husband that's not hers leaned in to make a move. That husband's wife saw it, caught it all on camera. She had too much to drink. And so, I mean, I didn't see the videotape, but I think she was stunned. She didn't know what to do. So she didn't like engage in it. But she also, from my understanding, didn't have the sense to push him off because she was out of her mind with how much she drank. If that makes sense, you guys have probably had too much to drink before. Now, I've had too much to drink. I know what that's like. I can't say that I relate to that because I would, first of all, I would push. Yes, turn my face, move around. You know, there would be nothing that would make me engage in that. But it surprised her. I think because she's so outwardly flirty, she trusted him. So when it happened, she was just shocked. Now, I know this person quite well. I don't believe for a second that she would have done anything to make him think that she wanted that because she does have the disclaimer, I'm just flirty, I'm not into anybody. Like, I've heard it myself. She did it to me.
And for all intents and purposes, their marriage is great. They're
great
great together. We're not seeing the same kind of relationship that I introed with here. Okay.
Yeah, great marriage, great woman, great man, great kids, great family. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, they were afraid to talk to me about it, thinking that I might be disappointed in her. And the husband actually backed it up and said, well, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't tell Kathryn because maybe she will be disappointed because of what we do for a living. But we've only ever seen good, but she's also very transparent. Like, I know everything's not perfect. We've had conversations about their marriage, but they're not in crisis. There's no cheating even. They only have eyes for each other. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So I want to be really clear. And I thought that was such a good story. And what we could introduce this more for is because there are different levels of, let's say, what we call acceptable flirting. Okay. But I'm going to say it's more for you guys because we don't believe that it's acceptable. You know, the last time somebody threw her arms around me, it had nothing to do with flirting. I don't think. She heard I was a marriage coach.
I don't think she was trying to flirt, but it was still inappropriate hug. Her lips touched his neck. I ripped her arms off of his neck so quickly, and he at the same time pushed her hips off, right? Because it's too close, guys. You have to have boundaries for yourselves. Forget about boundaries within the marriage and boundaries for the marriage. How about boundaries for yourself?
Now, let's just stick to this theme here, okay? And then let's talk about wit as a weapon first, and we'll stick to what I want you guys to think of is if we think wit is a weapon, you might say, well, I like sarcasm, okay? Now, the problem is if your partner's having a bad day, your sarcasm might not be so funny. Oh, lighten up, you're being too sensitive, right? But they're really having a tough time now. That's why we protect ourselves with these kinds of rules. But here, we can tie this to flirting too, because wit can be used for so much good, so much good. But you don't have to use it as a weapon and tear someone down. You can flirt with it. That's why we talk about non-sexual flirting versus actual sexual flirting, okay? Kathryn gives me a wink at least a handful of times a week, which is that's an actual sexual flirt. That's an innuendo.
He knows the wink because I go. You guys all just saw it. That's what I do. And he knows. He's like, oh.
And so
it might not look sexy. It really isn't. But the thoughts that cross our minds because of that wink, it's like a little inside joke.
That's right. And we understand it. So that's flirting. So I would be blown away if she's winking at anybody else, even if it was a more normal, just regular wink. Because we use it as a tool, okay? Now, I'm not saying she wouldn't wink with the kids. I'm not saying she wouldn't wink with her girlfriends.
I might wink a little bit, just like a little wink, like blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who aren't watching me just heard blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I winked at the camera again, but it was like a normal wink. But normally, it's just with you. And it's accentuated.
It's accentuated. And it goes with a specific topic or two. And and that's for us, right? And so I think a lot of you guys...
Everybody wants to know what it is now, but you guys aren't going to know.
No, you're not going to know. But a lot of you guys, you don't realize you take some of the best things that you've got in your, let's call it your loving arsenal, and you use it somewhere else, right? So what's acceptable? Nothing that is in between you guys is acceptable. 2, maybe you need to have more rules, right? If you don't have reflexes, let's say, forget alcohol for a moment. If you don't have reflexes where you would just shove somebody off, and maybe it's been a while since you've had the opportunity, because we don't look for those opportunities, okay?
No, it's weird that you called it an opportunity, actually.
Well, opportunity to show, how fast your reflexes are.
I knew what you meant. But...
Yeah. What you have to understand is there should be nothing. If we're talking about not looking at DMs, why are you talking to somebody in ways that actually even look like maybe goals, like common interest? You're not out here making fucking friends. When your marriage is in shambles, you're probably making the wrong friends, They probably are.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for people that validate you. You do then say things that are inappropriate when you do connect.
Well, think back to this friend incident.
Mm-hmm.
I would say she is the victim because I would guess that his marriage, the man that made the move, is in shambles. And so he's feeding into her flirt, getting something out of it. She's not getting anything out of it. This is how she lives her life. This is what she does day to day. She's not recognizing that he might be pushing it too far. She's probably liking it because that's her personality, but her marriage is good. His isn't. So something that might normally be innocent and doesn't turn into anything, now all of a sudden he is misreading her signals. She has no idea. Drinking or not, I don't think that she would have read the signals correctly because she's very free, which is a really positive quality about her. But now she's not recognizing when she's in danger, and then she's in danger, and now she's a victim, and there's more than one victim in this situation. There's a whole family victimized by this man whose marriage is in shambles.
So what's acceptable outside of marriage? I really think you guys have to use a little bit more, class. Like if you're actually in love with your partner, you wouldn't there's no way I want my wife to ever think that it could be possible, right? You know, there's a
I'll kill a bitch anyway, guys.
I can't remember if it's a written post, a video or something that went viral a number of years ago. I'm sure it goes around time to time. And it's like, man, I was checking out this woman and it was, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And wow, I just can't believe it. And this is in a grocery store line. And by the end of it all, it's like so beautiful, quote unquote, because it ends up being his wife.
His wife.
But here's the thing.
How did you let yourself look for long enough to even be able to make that joke?
Yeah, the way that it was described, it went on for so fucking long that he was definitely being inappropriate. That's looking too much. Now take that to actually talking to somebody, actually talking to her. Like, wow, I have to just say, by the way, like those pants look phenomenal on you. Because like, I'm thinking about him looking at her ass because he couldn't have seen much if he didn't know his wife for 5 minutes. Like
He didn't see her face.
no.
So what was he looking at that he liked so
Why
much?
is that acceptable? It's not. So it starts, first of all, with flirting with the way your mindset is. If we see someone attractive, we divert.
Because we're not blind. We've talked about this so many times. I'm going to see a man that I think is attractive. It's normal human nature to notice. But what's not normal that we need to condition ourselves to do, because society tells you you're allowed to look, it's okay. No, it's not okay to look. We are into fitness and nutrition, so sometimes we will look a little bit longer at muscles and body definition. But if we're attracted to it and we get that tingly sensation, you avert your eyes and you think about your partner.
Right away.
And you guys might not agree with that, but if you're listening to this podcast, you might have problems in your marriage, and maybe you should start to agree with some of the things that we do. Because it's not that I don't notice. It's not that he doesn't notice. The way that he talks about me, there are other women who are more beautiful, a lot more beautiful than I am.
No, give me a
I know
break.
you say I'm the most beautiful woman in the world, but I'm not stupid. I see beautiful women all the time. I look at women more than I look at men because I can look at women without lust and admire their bodies. I can't do that with a man because I might feel something. And if I feel something, I have to go back and look at my husband's body. That's what you need to condition yourself to do. Same with him. Doesn't matter how much more beautiful you might think or they might think or the world might think. The world might think. I don't know why I added an S to that. The whole world thinks. You just need to make sure that you're making that change and turning your mind back to where it belongs, which is in your marriage. We know that there are attractive people out there. A lot of them. Stop looking at them.
You guys have to really embrace this because you should never ask what is the level of flirting that's acceptable. If you're always going back to your partner, you can't set yourself up for fucking failure. That's why we see things when it's the extreme, when it's like, well, the question could actually be, well, how much sex is okay with other people because my partner said it's okay. No, it's going to cause fucking problems. Insecurity's a bitch, guys. And
My partner said it's okay.
some people do because they don't want to have sex. Some therapists tell them to do it. Pastors do. It's fucking stupid. Nothing.
Gross.
You go back to the connection that you have. And the reason why you're flirting outside, maybe you're not like this person that we're talking about. Maybe you are. But listen, if it's causing you to think, ooh, I couldn't even talk to my friends, the good ones, the ones who can help, right? You're probably going too far. If it's causing you to feel something positive from someone else, when you don't feel it from your partner, you're going too far, way too fucking far. And that includes non-sexual banter. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.